Blog Talk Radio.
Yes, welcome. Sunday in the building. Yes, welcome. Sunday in the building. Yeah. Yeah, Tori Mom in the building. Blue skies in the building. Larry Libra in the building. Yeah. All right, we are live with another video. We are going to do our review of Chasing Dallas, The Calm Before the Storm, Season 2, Episode 9. Now, mind you, I got some tea on Chasing Dallas. Premier, one of the cast members, is upset because he's not getting enough camera time. So he went off on the producer and saying, why are y'all cutting scenes and not adding scenes? And one of the producer, Ardario, said that, listen, we couldn't hardly understand y'all, so that's why y'all scenes were cut. So there's some problems going on with Chasing Dallas as we speak. A lot of backstabbing going on with Chasing Dallas. But let's get into this episode, okay? Ariel was talking that she is the transgender woman that's a stylist, okay? She's talking about Trey Womack and about the swinging because, you know, Trey Womack got jumped and he got a big lump on his head. Now, I'm really falling for Trey Womack. He's very, very handsome. He got tattoos. Even though I was making fun of him and Sam like me, he got a speech impediment, but I still kind of like Trey Womack because he's very attractive to me. So I've been in his DMs. I'm trying to get him on the show. So y'all reach out to Trey Womack and try to get him on the show. All right, producer. So Trey Womack definitely was just talking about getting it in with. Now, this is it. Now, let's get into Dior. First of all, Dior was mentioned in this episode, right? So they having a conversation. Ariel, King Kane, and Reese G having a conversation. So Reese G was talking about now Dior X is now his child. So it's a lot of freaky deaky stuff going on. Now, I'm not talking about a child in a traditional sense. I'm talking about his gay child. Y'all already know in the gay community, y'all call people they childs, but that's normal. I've known people that say they got a gay child and then they sleep with their gay child and they had this type of thing. Again, this is in the context of the gay community. As like me, if I meet an 18 or 19 or 20 or 21-year-old and I say, hey, you be my child. In some instances, some people sleep with their gay kids and they supposed to be mentoring them and not sleep with them. That goes on. It was an episode about that in Pose. If you all can remember, one of the members of the Ballroom Houses was sleeping with Blanca's child, and it was a big controversy. That goes on a lot in the gay community. So you have to do your research. So Dior was saying that he definitely is not going to New Orleans with his kids because they were blamed for the fight. So he don't want to take his kids to go to New Orleans. Now, Ariel, the transgender girl, she don't want to go to New Orleans because one of her friends was taken out. Her life was ended because someone took her life when she was going into the department store because she's saying now it is not safe for trans women to go to New Orleans. So she will not be going to New Orleans, okay? King Kane, unfortunately, when he did his confessionals, why his glasses was crooked. His glasses was crooked while he was trying to talk about what was going on in the scene, and I couldn't hear nothing he was saying because them glasses was leaning to the side. Why didn't any other production team tell that man to fix his glasses? I mean, them glasses was crooked. Antonio definitely was trying to talk to George, best friend. Antonio ain't getting no camera time. Now, Antonio, you were right. they did you dirty. And I told you they doing you dirty because if you don't kiss Reese G's booty, you don't get no camera time. If you step on Reese T toes or try to comfort his neck that he don't have, you won't get any type of camera time. So Antonio is definitely not getting, even though Antonio's skin is so beautiful and he got a fat booty, but he ain't getting no camera time. But the little stuff they did brought up, they were being messy. They said Antonio was trying to date George's best friend, and George was trying to date Antonio, even though that Antonio was trying to date his best friend. And George, aka Georgina, is the funeral director. So the last part of this episode is when Reese G went to do an interview and Trey Romack met up with his mentor that does tattoos. They were talking about the fight that happened and the guy, the dirty trade that pulled out his weapon and that tried to shoot Trey Romack because Trey Howard and Trey Romack got into a fight. And so the dirty trade, if you don't know what trade is somebody that's portraying to be somebody straight, but they get it in the bedroom, they get peen in their butt or they suck peen, but and he looked kind of dirty. I mean, that white headband, that white shirt was kind of dingy, but me and him would have it. If he was in the same room with me, I'd get it in with him. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna lie and say I won't get it in. I like a little dirty piece of trade. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love a little dirty piece of trade. So when I was scrolling around the streets of Instagram, of course, I go on my favorite blog, Neighborhood Talk, and Kevin McCall has been opened up from depression, speaking on his daughter calling another man daddy. He having a lot of issues with Eva, his ex. They are going at it. If you all remember that Kevin tried to sue Eva for custody of his daughter and that the judge did not see fit. And also, too, if you remember this, Kevin, when he got out of jail, he threatened Chris Brown, and he have been blackballed in the industry because everybody know Kevin McCall is a producer. But right now, he haven't been producing nothing. Now he's sitting at his laptop sucking on a little string up there trying to do some records. And he looks very, very dingy to me. I don't know what happened. The Kevin that I've known on that red carpet when he did with Eve look good. And that thumbnail, that version of Kevin look good. But this the Kevin, how Kevin looks now. Let's go to that video. He looks very, very dingy. He need a hot bath and he needs a haircut. Let's just, Lord have mercy. I know how it is. He probably suffering bipolar. He probably need his medication. He probably need him some Zyprexa. Kevin, call me, brother. I can help you get you on some good medication. Call me, brother. Call me.
Share some of my experiences with depression, anxiety. I don't even know what the shit is. I'll call it not knowing what to do with your feelings and not knowing how to process your thoughts. So I just put on some gospel. Sometimes that don't work, but I just keep the word going in the background so I'll have something to pull from to change my thoughts. Because every action you do, everything you do, it starts from a thought. So you gotta watch what you think. So some of my experiences with depression is like, okay, when I just read a lot of stuff about my baby and shit, it almost set me off. But I got Dr. Miles Monroe playing, so I'm getting more ways to think about what I'm feeling. I know I'm that child's daddy. I know she got her calling another man daddy. That ain't his fault. Share some of my experiences with depression.
Let's go. And he's upset that his child called another man daddy. But what Kevin failed to realize, when you are not there and another man stepped in and actually providing for that child is going to call that new man daddy. Do I agree with it? Yes, I agree with it. If that man is providing, it's nothing wrong with calling another man daddy. I mean, you can't blame the child. You're going to call the one that is treating you right daddy. If he do a better job instead of coming out to Eve instead of trying to take custody of the child, and then he posts on his Instagram. Let's go to another video. I'm going to show a receipt that I got. Let's play this video.
I know that the decisions that my children's mothers are making, it hurts. It affects me. But I also know it's something I could do. I got the power to do something like time, right? You can't control it, but you sure can manage it. money. You can manage your money. I just learned about a lot of things I was mismanaging, which was my time, my talents, and my treasures. Hallelujah. That came out of nowhere. Woo! But I got times, on a serious note, this is my last what I want to do. I got times where I don't want to get out of bed. I got times where I don't want to talk to y'all. I don't even want y'all to see me because I don't care how I look. I don't care about this beard. I don't care about none of that. Well,
okay, as y'all hear that,
that,
and he definitely gonna need some type of mental health services. And so I pray that his family get involved and help. And this is the thing, it was wrong to change that baby last name, but I don't get involved in it. I just think that brother need a lot of help. He need a lot of counseling, and he don't need social media, because you can clearly see it in his eyes that this brother is depressed, and he needs some services immediately. That's a brother that's definitely going through it. And if you even go visit his story, let's just go down to his story. Hold on 1 second. And let me show this before I show his story. As you all see this is the receipt that he wrote. Some women have children for a check. Some of them out here working on baby number 3 and still talking about their ex. Having babies isn't a career. So that's what he posts on his Instagram, talking about child support is 18 years of easy money. Women reveal the real reasons why they lied about being on the pill, and many don't regret what they're done. So that's what Kevin posts on his Instagram. So he's just throwing out shade to his baby mother and to his ex, and he's not over his ex. He just needs to definitely get some mental health and some medication. And his ex, Eva, she definitely needs to get some security, because that man look like he ready to end you right now. He's ready to look like he's ready to chop something right now. She better have the best security, because that man is unstable. I don't care what nobody say. He's definitely unstable, in my humble opinion. Press 1 if you think Kevin McCall is unstable. Press 1 in the chat if you think he's unstable. Now this is him doing some music.
Parked in the driveway.
That's him doing some music. Go ahead, Kevin.
500 coupe parked in the driveway.
Oh.
She put the pennies in my face like Sandre.
Yeah.
And that wood got a curve like boomerang. She put the pennies in my face like Sandre.
You better go ahead. I date him though.
Hey. No, for real, look. 500 coupe parked in the driveway. Hey, that's it. 500 sideways.
Oh my God. This, I'm not laughing at him. I need to stop laughing. I'm not laughing at him. I'm just there we go. I'm not laughing at him. That was some of his story and stuff like that. He's trying. He need much help. And I know I've been there. And he's on social media. Definitely probably like he haven't bathed. I would definitely date him though. Oh, because he probably got that manic ping. I definitely would date him though. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would get down on my knees. I ain't gonna lie and say I won't date him. I will be right there. So, but do you think his ex Eve is she wrong for changing that baby last name? Do you think that she's wrong? And what do y'all think about this situation? Is it like a crazy situation? Like, what do y'all think about it? One of my producers, Paige, was in there and she was giving me the tea on him as well. And I would like to know. They said Kevin McCall said no. I'm talking about Eva. I'm sorry. Did I say Eve? It's Eva. It's all Eva. But both of them look really good together. But I think once he broke up, she claimed he abused. I could tell that he's very abusive. I can look at him and tell he's abusive. He probably verbally abusive, and he probably throws them in. He doesn't need meds. He needs to heal. Meds do not do anything for a healing process. They only make you numb. So you say, so you're telling me that he doesn't need medication. I disagree with that. He do need some medication. The video needs more likes, y'all. They said, hey, so you're telling me that man don't need no medication? Come on now. That man needs a whole lot of medication. He needs therapy. He definitely needs some medication. Okay. And Eva, she definitely needs to go to get a restraining order because that man is not to be trusted. Okay, that man definitely is not to be trusted. Definitely gonna need to do it. Definitely need to do it. He's faking just a little. I don't think that he's faking. And man is definitely in a lot of trouble. You could tell in his spirit that he definitely needs some treatment. Okay, and I could tell that he's bipolar. I definitely could tell. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I could just look at a person and just tell, like, I definitely can see that he is bipolar and that he's definitely going through, and he definitely needs some assistance right then and there. Don't let Eva fool y'all. She's a low down, dirty. That man needs therapy and structure how to heal. I heard that he's bipolar. Medication bring scattered mind into focus into extreme cases. He definitely needed. So press 1 if you think Kevin needs treatment. Press 2 if you think he doesn't need treatment. Press 1 if you think he needs treatment. Press 2 if he doesn't need treatment. Post in the comments. Press 1 you think he needs treatment. Press 2 you think he doesn't need treatment. Therapy, yes. Medication, I don't know. And Eva isn't so innocent herself. Okay, I'm listening at the call. So if you're calling in, you can just dial the number. Okay, I'm just reading y'all comments. So it's more ones in the chat that agree that this man needs some type of therapy. Because you could just look at him and just tell that he's not stable. You could just literally look at this man and tell that this man is just not stable. More than treatments. You could just really tell that he just really needs some assistance. He needs to hit with a blow dart. Oh my gosh. Reading y'all comments. Well, he is hurt behind what is going on with his kids. I really do believe so, but he got to know how to channel that hurt and go get some type of assistance and try to work it out. While he even most definitely should have changed her name. Kevin McCall disowned his own daughter. Remember, now he's playing the victim he did. So that's what I'm saying. And I really hope that she try to encourage Kevin to get some help. He must have lost his parental rights. Yeah, I could tell that he lost his parental rights. You could just really tell in the chat. And see, that's what I'm saying. You can't be disowning your child. And then when your child moved on, when the name changed, now you want to play victim. No, first of all, you get your life in order. That's exactly what you get. Get your life in order. Okay? 7076, caller, you on the air. Okay. All right, go ahead, caller. Yes, speak up in the phone so I can hear you.
Can you hear it?
I can hear you. Yeah, turn me down the background because I don't want to hear myself in the background. There you go. All right. Okay. So we have a caller on. So 7676. Go ahead, caller. All right. I hear you in the background. You gonna say something? All right, 646-716-8447 is the number. So if you're going to call in, make sure we're not playing in the background, okay? Call in. We're not playing in the background. Make sure y'all go ahead on and dial the number at 646-716-8447. But by changing the child's name, she have no room for the man to apologize and redeem himself. Right. And I don't know what the thing about it is. I think that was a low blow to change the child's name. I really won't even have a problem with you get on the line and you letting another man call, another child, another man daddy. I can understand that if the child is young and another man in there, instead of calling the man by his first name. But changing the child's last name, I think that was a low blow. It was smart to change. I don't think that it was smart. I just think that was kind of crazy to do that. I just think that was a low blow to change that child's last name, because at the end of the day, you can't erase her biological father, because she would not be there without her biological father. He was a part of that, of making the child. So we want to respect, at least give the child the name. I agree. She could have kept the child's name and explained to the child the situation when she was old enough to understand. However, with adoption, I do understand that names change. She is wrong for doing that, period. Somebody said Kevin is dangerous man, and I think he should be signed in by the state to make him get help. Definitely that. I agree with you on that. I definitely do. And she is petty. I think she was wrong for changing the daughter last name. Eva is trying to erase everything about Kevin that's attached to her. It takes two to make a child. That steals her daughter's father. Eva always tried to shade darker skinned people. She is far from innocent. How much is McCall worth? I don't know. Anonymous, you live on the air. Wow.
Hi.
Hey, go ahead, caller.
Hey, it's Paige.
Go ahead, Paige.
Hi. Okay. So I was telling you earlier, of course, I was watching Kevin on Snapchat, and he was riding around Compton with a broken hand on a bicycle. And then one day he was in the back of some raggedy car. Like, this dude is really, really like going through it. He does not look he doesn't look like the same man from 4 or 5 years ago or 6, 7 years ago when he did Deuces. This is like a totally different person. And for those who watch the show, you know, he has been stalking Eva and all this other type of crazy stuff, and he did abuse her. And about the last name change, I don't have a problem with it, because a lot of women out here, you got to think, Black women in general, the single mother rate is very, very high. What is wrong with a man coming in, stepping in a spot where this woman had a man who was not taking care of her or her daughter at all, not paying child support, not being active? And I think he came in when the baby was like 1. So this is who this girl knows is her father. This is who she called dad. This is who raised her. And my grandfather, stepfather, gave him his last name. And I, to this day, have that same last name that's in my family. So I see it differently because I'm a product of it. And there's nothing wrong with it, because my grandfather was raised by his stepfather. And that's the last name that my family has. And my grandfather had 10 other kids with that same name. And they own land, and we still own the same land and everything that he gave to this part of the family.
Well,
so
I personally, because I
benefit.
feel like that's still Kevin, that's still his child. And so changing that child's last name, I think like it's a low blow. And I think she should still honor that man just because that's the father. You know, I think that's kind of disrespectful for her to change that child's last name.
But being a father by DNA is definitely different when you're not there. DNA, yes, but being a father, who's picking her up? Who's there when she's sick? You know, that other man. Kevin's not there. Who's taking care of this girl financially? You know what I'm saying? Like, this happens every day, y'all. Adoption isn't new. White people do this stuff all the time. This isn't new. It's just that Black people don't see it so much. So it's like, oh, that's wrong. Like, why? What sense does it make for this girl to carry this man's name who's only a father by name? That's not fair to that child. You get what I'm saying? And then she has siblings, 2 other siblings that have the same last name as her stepfather. Why does she have to be left out? Why does she have to be the child in school that says, why don't you have the same last name as your mother and father? Kids pick on kids like that. You get what I'm saying? So I think Eva's going to do what's best for her and her family. And I respect that, because there's a lot of single mothers in the world who would love for a man to step in, take care of them and their child, and give not only her that last name, but their children too. And any chick that sit here and says, oh no, that's wrong, you might need to check what's right. Because why? This man is not worthy. He's not there. He's absentee. He's not contributing to this little girl's growth, and kids need love. So there's nothing wrong with this little girl being loved. And I do agree with women should be more careful with who they have children with, but let's not act like people don't switch up in relationships. Whoever knew that they would be in a domestic relationship? You know what I'm saying? We all had instances. I've never been hit or nothing, but I've seen men switch up on me. You get what I'm saying? If I see it, I can back away. Some women be so in love that they don't. But I'm proud of her. She's going to do what's best for her and her family. And I stand up for anyone that's going to do what's best for their family, and they're not out here just trying to be a statistic and stay in toxic relationships. So big up to her. Big up to Mike for stepping up and just being a man.
Absolutely.
Have a good day, Wiley.
All right. Thank you so much, Paige.
Bye-bye.
Well, I think people have whatever side that you're on. You have a right to your opinion. But I would love to add to my opinion. You can't erase that father. But that father too have to do what he have to do and be there for his child. But if he's having mental problems before he can be there for his child, he first correct what's going on upstairs in his head, because it's going to be a challenge for you to say, let me go ahead and be a father when you got thoughts and when you're not that stable in your mind. You first have to get that resolved in order to be a father, because it's going to be challenged for you to try to be a father when you're struggling in your mind and you're battling with a mental illness. You must first get that under control before you try to be a father. 2689, calling you on the air.
Hey Wiley, how y'all doing?
Hey, doing all right. Go ahead, caller. What you got to say?
Oh, okay, I had read this article Eva had did when Vogue Paris, and she was saying how when she first met him, he put on his good attitude all the time. He was just like a really good guy and wanted her to meet all of his friends and family and everything. So she was just thinking about, thinking all the good times until he spazzed out about her doing an interview when she was pregnant with the baby, and they didn't want him to be in the interview. It was just supposed to be about mommy and baby, and that was one of the parts of the decline of their relationship. Now, what you're talking about, I believe that she should have changed the kid's name. I mean, it wasn't too long ago before this guy was on Twittering, or it could have been another social media that he was calling his daughter a bitch. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, so you have to protect the child that's growing up. If you could provide a new family for the child and still, allow the child to be a part of the real father's life when he gets his stuff together, then that's fine. But that's when he gets his stuff together. Everybody else shouldn't have to wait, because children's minds are made up between 5 and 7.
Yeah, that's true. I give you that, because his child should not suffer until you get stuff together. That's something that he got to be a man enough to do his work. You know what I'm saying? Because children have to be provided
you have to
to.
do
They
the
need
work.
love.
Everybody else would do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was talking. You have to do the work. I'm sorry, Wally. You have to do the work, though. You have to show yourself approved for these lives that you are creating. Kids are little adults. They hear and see things, and they have their own feelings too. You know what I'm saying? You remember those days you would look at mama or daddy and you say, "Oh, I'm not gonna do that when I get older."
Come on.
But in the meantime, the kid still wants to be a part of a family. Eva's moving on. She's had another baby by the gentleman she's with now. And it's time for them to become a unit. If you can get a man that wants to make a unit with your family, that's everything.
Come on. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's really sad that all this have played out publicly, because that child, when she get older, she will see this on the internet. But
he started it.
I get you.
He started it with all of that, trying to be such a hard, like he was so hardcore and putting out all of these videos. Because I was a huge fan of Eva, and I would follow, her, and you would pick up what he would have to say after they were away from each other, and he was so foul and just like so mean and nasty about it. And this was just at the beginning of a breakup. Usually you try to be mean, but you still might want to.
With me, this conversation about mental illness and mental health need to be on the forefront.
Yeah.
And that's something that should not be discarded and erased. This man is clearly going through mentally. And I say, where's his family? Where's people around trying to get this man help? And where's the state? Because clearly this man is going through things. He's going through all these crazy rants. and he definitely probably need to sleep, probably not even sleeping, probably not even eating right. But I hope and pray that he gets the helps that he need, because in order for him to move forward peacefully in his life, he must first get that in order. Because when you're clouded up in your mind, you can't be a father, and you don't know how to be a father when you're messed up and you got so much junk in your mind. That's what I have to say about that.
I agree. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you so very much. Okay.
Okay, have a good day.
So the number is 646-716-8447. We're going to get a couple of more phone calls on, and we're going to have that definitely a conversation. Later on today, we will be bringing Marquita the Cross-Eyed Diva on Patreon. So we will be having her on Patreon today, so that Marquita the Cross-Eyed Diva will be live on Patreon. So if you want to come on there, you can just click on that link. It's in the chat. It's only $1 a month. Some people have pledged $5, and if you do pledge $5 and you want to go to the $1 plan, you have to edit your pledge, and the steps is definitely on Patreon. If someone snatched your child and changed her name and completely disassociated you from her, and you already about to fall off the deep end, what would you do? Me personally, some people, that's something like that. That's a lot. That's a lot. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hey.
I just called. I really didn't completely hear the whole live, but I wanted to congratulate you on your 9K, hitting your 9K subscribers. I wanted to congratulate you on that. And then also, you all looked good as far as you all were interacting with each other on your trip. I hope you enjoyed yourself and you had fun, but I didn't get an opportunity to call you last night. So I just wanted to call you today and just jump on and tell you congratulations.
That's what's up. Thank you. Thank you for that, man. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
All right. Have a good day.
All right. Have a good day. All right. The number is 646-716-8447. I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. All right. Thank you all for the love. I'm going to disassociate my child from an abuser. Make it make sense. Some of you all have toxicity. I hope I said it right. And you want other people to stay in that. Well, that's true. Some people love abusive men. That because if we look at the situation when the baby slapped that woman, it was some women that came in and say, it ain't his fault. Get off of him. She shouldn't have put it. Some women love toxic men. Some women love abusive men because they have been victims of abuse and they normalize that behavior as being normal. So I definitely agree with that's why some of these people would definitely do it. Why so many black people keep comparing ourselves to white folks. Definitely no one should stay in toxicity. I hope I said it right. I'm getting the name wrong. I hope he gets the help he needs. I definitely hope so too before it's too late, because I don't want to have to get on camera and they be like, rest in peace. Like that brother definitely need help, because if he don't, he's definitely on the edge right now. Now that someone help me, I can't find anything on YouTube or Google that says Kevin McCall calls his daughter a B. Now I saw that he called Evil One, the court officer one, but not the child. So they said that's a bunch of fake news. He probably called the mother one. I don't think he called the child one, but I do remember he saying the B word, and he was using a lot of it. So okay. All right. So as you said, a bunch of fake news, but a lot of women. Okay, let's do this poll really quickly before we bring this show to a close. Press 1 if you would change the name of your child. Press 1 if you would change the name of your child. The man ain't no good. You meet a new man, you would change it to that new man's name. Press 2, you will leave that child name alone. You will not change. Press 1 if you would change the name. Press 2, you will leave the child name alone. Let's see in the chat. Press 1. Oh, wow. It's a lot of ones in that chat. I'm glad my mama did change my name, because the new dude that she was with wasn't no good. He started to become trash. So I'm glad she kept my last name Wiley, okay? With the father that's on my birth certificate. The new man that she was with wasn't no good either. He was just as worse as the first one. All right. What the with a man like Kevin, I'm changing the name. She will not carry crazy, disgusting man legacy. Despite the name, what she still got his blood in there too. So regardless. Two, my daughter could request that at 16, though. Not that nothing to do with how the father behaves or the man who is in her life. Depends on the man or the woman you asking that to. My daughter is 15 and asked me to legally change her name from her dad's. Wow. Wow. What's up, Chad? What up? Okay, so this is a beautiful conversation. I don't have any more phone calls, so I'm going to bring this show to a close. But despite what it is, I wish Eva, I wish Kevin nothing but success. I hope and pray that they get their life in order. I hope and pray that Kevin gets his life in order, and I really hope that he can resolve his issues before he could become a father for his child. It's still time. It is not too late. You still got time. As long as you're here, you still got time to be there. My daughter wants my dad's last name and my maiden's name. Still got the DNA. Her parental relatives still find her 20 years later or 23andMe. Eva slept with him. Hell, I'm sure he showed sign of craziness before. Kevin ain't hide it. My brother has hibernated last name, my father's last name, and his mother's last name. Wow. All right, so I'm reading in the chat. I hear y'all when I say this. When I was 19, my mom asked me if I wanted to change my last name or hers because my father was a deadbeat. I said no because I like how my name sounded. LOL. Kevin needed help and Eva needs a restraining order. Definitely need a restraining order. All right, y'all. We thank y'all so very much for tuning into another episode of The Wiley Show. I will see you all again with another video. Peace and blessings. Those people, don't forget, we will be on Patreon later on today. Peace.